you already have. So I'm going to start with a question. If I ask you today, what is the reason you have not started investing? Will you tell me it's because you don't have enough? Will you tell me it's because you don't want to lose money in the market? Will you tell me it's because you don't know what to do with the market? If your answer falls within these three or any other reason you might have that you've not started investing, then we're going to be rewriting that mindset today on this call. And if I also ask you, maybe you've started investing and I ask you, why have you not started generating income with the same stock you're already investing in? Will you tell me because it's lack of knowledge or something? Because today we're going to be rewriting those mindsets on this call. You're welcome in. So today we're looking at how to invest in the stock market and how to generate income with the stocks you already have. Now, let's start with this. If you work for 10 hours, you work for 1 hour and you earn $30 that 1 hour, you can decide to give that your 1 hour, that $30 you've earned 1 hour, you can decide to give it a job, right? Give your money job for the next 1 hour to say, okay, this money I'm sending you on an errand. Thank you so much for the likes. I'm sending you on an errand, right? Go and do what you're meant to do. And this money has the capacity to generate more than 10%, more than 20% in return because you've sent that money on an errand. Now, how do you send your money on an errand? The question is, how do you send your money on an errand? The one way you send your money on an errand is through investing. You invest to send your money on an errand because when you invest, you don't need to be there. If I send somebody on an errand, I don't need to be there for that errand to be delivered, right? If I send, let's say I send my child on an errand and I still have to go with the child, that means I'm not sending that child on the errand, right? So if you're sending your money on an errand, you don't need to be there. And the way for you to send your money on an errand that you will not be there is by investing. Now, when you talk about investing, you're welcome in on YouTube. When you talk about investing, you can invest in so many things. One way is investing in the stock market. You buying the stocks of publicly listed companies. That is one way to invest. Another way is by investing in people's business. Investing in people's business. Another way is maybe you want to invest in a local community business. In these three scenarios, you're not there. Your money will do what would work for you. Now, today, we're looking at investing in the stock market. Investing in the stock market because we're going to be sending our money on an errand to the stock market to work for us. If you have questions, please leave it in the chat. I will try my possible best to answer them. You're welcome in. Now, I said you send your money on an errand. Now, we said we want to talk about the stock market. Now, what is the stock market? What is the stock market? The stock market is a place where public companies go to list their companies and looking for people to invest in them. They list their company looking for people to invest in them. And who are those people? It's you and I, the public. They're telling the public, oh, I want you to invest in me, right? I would like you to invest in me. So they list their company in the stock market. Now, the question is, why should I invest in you? There are over 10,000 companies. Can you put it? Okay, I don't understand what you're saying. Now, there are over 10,000 companies in... Hi, how are you doing today? Anderson. There are over 10,000 companies in the stock market. So why should I choose you, company A, over company B? It is because you've shown me that you can deliver. You've shown me that you can deliver. You have shown me that you have done it over the years. You've shown me that you've done it over the years. I can see the trend. I can see the profit you've made over the years. I can see a lot of things that are associated with your company. That is why I will choose company A over you. And all these can be found in the stock market because the company will put their profit and loss there. You will see their trends over the years. What have they done? What is their investors saying about them? What is their investors saying about them? You're going to see it in the stock market. Now, before you now decide that, okay, I want to invest in this company, what do? You look through what the company has written. Thank you for the likes on TikTok and on YouTube. You look through what the company has written. Then you want to determine what this company has written. Does it fit my goal? Number one, does it fit my investment goal? Number two, does it fit my risk profile? Before I start investing in a company, I want to be sure that it actually fits my risk profile, right? So all these can be found in the stock market, and that is why you have to understand what to look out for. You understand what to look out for before you do what? You invest in a company. It is important. Most people don't look at that. Most people don't check, oh, what do I look out for before I invest in this company? No, right? Most people don't do it. But you're going to be learning how to look out for those things today and what you need to do before you even start to invest. You're welcome in. If you have questions, please leave it in the chat. I will do well to answer your questions. Okay, now, when you want to invest in the stock market, now, how do you invest in the stock market? We know that the stock market is where companies go to list their stock, looking for public, you and I, to invest in them. Right now, how do you invest in the stock market? I'm going to give you 4 steps today for you to start investing in the stock market. We're starting with step number 1. Step number 1 is you want to know the why. Why do I want to invest in the market? That is step number 1. Why do I want to invest in the market? For everything you do, there must be a why, right? There must be a why for everything you do. Now, you want to determine why. When you're determining your why, you're going to think of which country are you? Vision Flux. I'm in Canada and I come on live between 5:30 Central and between 5:30 and 6 p.m. Central Time. That's when I come live. Okay. Now, so when you're looking at why do I want to invest? Because in the stock market, you can either invest for income or you can invest for growth. We have 2 different companies, 2 different types of companies in the stock market. We have the companies that we call the dividends paying companies. It can also be called the cash flow companies, the income companies. We have it. Now, what do? For a dividends paying company, they pay you from the profits they make. So let's say a company has made a profit of $10 million. They are going to pay you and they declare a profit. Nigerian time is 5 p.m. No, Nigerian time will be 11 p.m. So right now my time is about 5:46. So Nigerian time will be, Nigeria is 6 hours ahead of us. That's about 11:46 p.m. right now. So I come on live between 10:30 and 11. That's when I come live. Okay. Now, so these companies, when they make profits, from the profits they have made, they are going to be paying their shareholders from that profit. So it means if you've invested in the company through the stock market, you get to share from the profits they have made, right? Now, that is number 1. Then we have another set of companies in the stock market that are called the growth companies. The growth companies, on the other hand, they don't pay out dividends. They don't pay out their profits. So why should I invest in those kind of companies? Somebody would ask, right? So growth companies, the profits they make, instead of them paying it out to the shareholders, what they do is they reinvest the profits into the company. They can use it for expansion. They reinvest the profits into the company. And because they are reinvesting the profits into the company is what is growing. And because the company is growing, their stock price is also growing in the market. So you can see the first type of company is dividend company, right? Dividend companies, those they pay from the shareholder, from the profit they make, they pay to their shareholders. The other set of companies are called the growth company. These they don't pay to their shareholders. They reinvest it into the company and the company grows, thereby their stock price also appreciates. Now, when you look at growth and dividends company, you want to determine, why do I want to invest? Do I want to invest for growth, or do I want to invest for do I want to invest for growth, or do I want to invest for dividends? It is important for you to determine before you go into the market, what do I want to invest for? Growth or dividends? Because if you want to invest for growth and you go to buy a dividend stock, the dividend stock might not grow as fast as the growth stock. And because it's not meeting your investment goals, you want to leave the market before you even make good returns from the market. So it is important for you to lay that foundation of, why do I want to invest? Am I investing for growth, or am I investing for growth, or am I investing for dividends? This is very important because that is what will help you to stay in the market. I'm just trying to look at some questions here. Now, once you have that, you have determined, why do you want to invest? You have said, okay, I want growth, I want dividends. Now, the truth is, you need both in your portfolio, but your why should take the majority of your portfolio. So what I mean is, if your why you're investing is you want growth, then growth should be more in your portfolio. If you want dividends, then dividends should be more in your portfolio. How long have you been in this market? Please do not be offended. I am not offended. Don't worry. So in Canada, I started investing in 2021. I came to Canada in 2020 and I started investing in Canada in 2021. However, back home in Nigeria, I've worked in the financial sector all through my life. So investing has been part of me. I've worked in the treasury and the likes before relocating to Canada. But in Canada, I started in 2021. I hope I answered your question. Okay. Now, moving on. Now, we know the why are we going into the market, right? Now, the next thing, I want to invest in stock too. Joy David. Don't worry. That is why you're here. Ask your questions and I will let you know what you need to do. So today I'm giving 4 steps for you to start investing in the stock market. If you have questions, leave it in the chat and I will try as much as possible to answer. Okay, now that we know why are we investing, the next thing we want to do, which is step number 2, is we want to download our brokerage app. Because we are going to be investing through our brokerage app. We can't just walk into the head office of stock market and say, oh, I want to invest in stocks. No, we need a brokerage app to be able to invest. Question, is investing in the stock market just gambling if you don't do your research? Definitely it is. If you don't do your research, you're doing try and error. And obviously try and error will not take you anywhere. So the best thing is, do your research, and after your research you do what? You invest. Thank you so much for the ads, me, Nathaniel. Okay. Now, you want to download your brokerage app. Now, in different countries, there are different brokerage apps. If you don't know a brokerage app in your country, you can put your country in the chat. I'll tell you some in your country. Now, before you download a brokerage app, you want to consider, what transaction fee will I be paying on this app? It is important. Today, Nigeria, you need a Bamboo. You can use Bamboo, you can use AfriInvest 2.0. Today, I was working with a client today, and he was trying to download a brokerage app. And this brokerage app, not only is it complicated, I will not mention the name. Not only is this brokerage app complicated, The brokerage app was charging for every transaction. The brokerage app was charging $2.99. Libya, you can use interactive brokers. Interactive brokers, right? Not only is the app complicated, the interface is not easy. It's not easy to navigate the interface, but for every transaction, you have to pay $2.99. That is $3 on every transaction. And I had to tell the person that, well, my advice would be use another app, because this app, for every transaction, you're paying $3. It means $3 that should go into your pocket, you're paying it to them. Aside from that, it is not friendly to use the app. So when you want to download your app, you want to consider, how friendly is this app? How easy can I navigate this app easily? That's number one. Number two, you want to see, how much transaction fee will I be paying? You might say $2.99 is not much, but calculate $2.99 on a 1,000 transaction, as in 1,000 different transactions. $2.99, that's almost $3,000 you've paid in charges alone. So it is important, the transaction fee. As an investor, I want to go on with my full money, right? So it is important for you to know, what transaction fee will I be paying on this app, and how friendly is this app when I'm using it. You're welcome in. If you're just joining us, we're looking at how to invest in the stock market today and how to generate income with your stocks. If you have questions, please leave it in the chat and I'll try my possible best to answer. So I saw a question here. He said, what are some research tools I can use to find edges? So there are a lot of research tools. Google is not detailed, but there's Yahoo Finance. There is CNBC, if you're in this part of the world. Then your app, your brokerage app, is also a research tool. You can use it to analyze your stocks. Okay, now, so I said download your brokerage app is step number 2. We started with step number 1. Step number 1 is, why do I want to invest? Do I want to invest for income, or do I want to invest for growth? That's step number 1. Step number 2 is you download your brokerage app. And we said, in downloading your brokerage app, you want to consider, how friendly is this app? That is number 1. Number 2, what transaction fee will I be paying on this app? A lot of countries have apps. Yes, a lot of countries have apps that are free. So if you can use the free app, why do you want to pay transaction fee? That is me. If I live in Canada, are only Canadian-based stocks the way to invest? No. If you live in Canada, you can invest in the US stock market, you can invest in the Canadian stock market. And you can invest in emerging markets as well. Emerging markets will comprise the countries like China and the likes, right? If you live in Canada. So it's not only Canadian stocks. Okay, so that is step number 2. Now let's move to step number 3. Step number 3 is, you want to choose the type of account you want to use to invest. On your brokerage app, sorry, before I move to step number 3, when you download your brokerage app, you will need to create your profile. And in creating your profile, you would need your social insurance number or your tax identification number. The reason is, investing itself is a taxable item. Investing is a taxable item. It means that when you invest, if you make a gain in the markets, you make profit in the market, you get to pay taxes on your profit. If you make losses in the market, you will write your losses against your income to reduce your income. So that means you're paying taxes technically, right? So because it is a taxable item, you will need your social insurance number or your tax identification number when you download your brokerage app. A lot of people get stuck at that point. That is why I like to always say it when I'm on a call like this, that this is what you need. You need it. Now, once you've downloaded your brokerage app, on that brokerage app, you're going to see a lot of accounts. You see the taxable account, the non-taxable accounts. Yes, you see the taxable account, the not taxable account. You're going to see savings, checking, depending on the brokerage app. Now, when you're choosing the accounts you want to use to invest, you're going to be choosing a non-taxable account as a beginner, because most beginners, they've not exhausted their non-taxable account. So you're going to be starting with a non-taxable account. And the reason I'm saying start with a non-taxable account is because you will be able to save on your taxes. You want to save on your taxes. Just like the way I told you, when you're downloading your brokerage app, check what transaction fee are you going to be paying so that you can save on your fees. You want to save on your taxes as well. You might say, oh, this year I only paid $5 in taxes. But what happens when your portfolio becomes $1 million? When your portfolio becomes $500,000, right? You will pay taxes on it. So that is why it is important to start with a non-taxable account for your investing, because you want to save on taxes. If you use a non-taxable account to invest and you invest $1,000, for instance, you make a gain of $100. The $100 will not be taxable. That is the benefit of using a non-taxable account. But if you had used a taxable account, it means the $100 becomes taxable. So as you start, as you're choosing an account, please choose a non-taxable account when you're starting this journey. Do we have questions? You're welcome in. If you have questions, please put it in the chat. Okay. Now, moving on, we're going to go to step number 4. Step number 4 is where you actually start investing. That you open your brokerage app, you choose the type of account you want to use, does not mean you have started investing. It is step number 4. That is where you actually start to invest. Now, how do you invest in step number 4? You're going to buy, either you're buying a stock or you're buying an ETF. Either you're buying a stock or you're buying ETF. I have a question here. It says from Joy. It says, please, which stock are more advisable for growth investments? Okay, that is a good question. Yeah. So on my call, I don't give out stock because I don't want it to be seen as a professional advice. I don't give out stock because I don't know your risk profile. I don't know your investment goals. If I give you any stock, it's seen as a professional advice. But if you want me to suggest stocks to you, you can get my training. I've not talked about my training. I'm just still teaching. But you can get the training that shows you. In that training, I give you a lot of stocks there. And you have access to me and you can ask your questions about the stock market. So I've not yet put the discount on the training, so don't go yet. Let's finish the teaching. Then I'll apply a discount to the training if you want to get it. Okay, so that is why I don't give out stock on my live call. I don't want it to be seen as a professional advice. I'm only doing educational purpose here. Okay. Now, I said you will either buy a stock or you will buy an ETF. So what is a stock and what is an ETF? A stock is you, Kingsley, thanks for the follow, is you buying a company. You're investing in a company, just one company at a time. So if you want to invest in 10 different companies, it means you're going to buy 10 different stocks. 10 stocks from different companies, because you'll be investing in company A, company B, company C. You invest in individual company. That is, you buying the stock of a company. What is an ETF? An ETF is you investing in a group of companies as one. So if you want to invest in 10 companies, you can decide to look for an ETF that has these 10 companies in it. And when you buy one ETF, you have technically invested in what? In the 10 companies. Sam, thank you for the follow. So I love to use my remote when I get to this point. I've been looking for it on this one. So let's look at stock. Let's look at stock. Yes. Stock is you investing in company that produces this pencil, one company at a time. ETF, on the other hand, look at this remote. This remote represents an ETF, right? And these buttons represent companies. different companies you can invest in. So technically, if you buy this remote, you have invested in all these companies that are on this, that are in this remote, that are in this ETF. Now, when you want to start investing as a beginner in the markets, you don't really know anything yet, right? You can start with an ETF. You can start with an ETF. And the reason is, when you start with an ETF, it helps you to lower your risk. Just imagine that instead of investing in 10 different companies, you decide to invest in it as a group. Thank you so much, Nathaniel, for the likes. You decide to invest in it as a group. You have lowered your risk. The risk of that group of company all going away at the same time is low. Just imagine, let's go back to our remote. Remember, all these buttons are companies, right? All these buttons are companies. Can all these buttons get spoiled at the same time? No. So an ETF helps you to lower your risk, because when you invest in one ETF, you've invested in all these companies. If these two buttons are not doing well, which represent company A and B, these two buttons will be taken out of this ETF and new companies will be put into it. If these two buttons are not working in this remote, I can decide to take off these two buttons and replace them. That is what an ETF is. So you have lowered your risk technically. Number two, you have diversified your risk. You see these buttons, all these buttons that represent companies, they are different companies into different things, which means these companies cannot go down the same time. So technically, you have diversified your risk by investing in an ETF. Let's take a look at it. If you have any company you want us to take a look at today, put it in the chat and we're going to pull it up on Google and see what the company looks like. If you have any company you want us to take a look at, put it in the chat. So do we understand the difference between stock and ETF? Stock is you investing in one company at a time, while ETF is you investing in a group of companies as one. You lower your risk, you diversify your risk by choosing ETF. Okay. What do you think of market fund? That is a good question. Now, when you say market fund, I want to believe you're saying money market fund. If I'm not correct, put the correct thing. If you say market fund, the only thing that comes to mind is money market fund. Okay, yes, okay. Now, money market is a fixed income instrument. When I say fixed income, it means it has a tenor, it has an interest rate, a fixed interest rate. That is why it's called fixed. Fixed interest rate, fixed tenor, right? So what does that tell you? Whatever the market does, you already know in 6 months, I'm getting my money back, right? That is a tenor. Whatever the market does, you already know the interest rate is 3%. If the market does below 3%, you are getting 3% back. If the market does above 3%, you're getting 3% back. So when you're investing, now the stock market is different. The stock market does not have a tenor. You can buy today, sell today, buy again, sell again. You can buy today, sell 20 years time. It doesn't have a tenor. You determine the tenor yourself. The same thing, it doesn't have an interest rate. It behaves, it has its own behavior. It has its own behavior, right? That is the stock market. So, because the stock market does not have an interest rate, right? It doesn't have a tenor. It becomes more riskier than money market, because money market has a tenor. So when you're looking at money market, if you're looking at low risk investment, you want to be sure that your capital is guaranteed. You want to be sure that your interest is guaranteed. Then you can go for a money market product. But if you're willing to take the risk in the stock market, then you would know your capital can go up and down. Then you can go to the stock market and invest in individual companies. On the other hand, money market is a pool of fund, right? So I want to invest. Person B want to invest. Joy wants to invest. The bank or the financial institution will pull our funds together and invest it. We don't know what they are investing it in, right? As in, we don't know the particular companies. They are going to say, okay, this company is what I want to invest in. No, they are going to pull our funds together and invest it. That is money market, a pool of funds. Stock market, on the other hand, it is you and the company. You're buying, you know that, oh, I bought company A into my portfolio. I can see company Z in my portfolio. That is the difference between the stock market and money market fund. And like I said, money market is lower risk because it has this fixed income. Fixed income generally are considered as lower risk. I hope I answered your question. You're welcome in if you're just joining us. Today we're looking at how to invest in the stock market and how to generate income. If you have questions, please leave it in the chat. Thank you for sharing the live. Now let's move on. We already know that step number one for us to invest is, why do I want to invest in the stock market? Do I want to invest for growth or do I want to invest for income? Then we said you download your brokerage app. In downloading your brokerage app, I will keep saying, please consider the transaction fee and how friendly is this app. Number 3, you're going to choose your investment account. And I said it's good for you to start with a non-taxable account if you have that type of account in your country. Number 4, you're going to buy your stock or you're going to buy your ETF. Once you buy, you can go to sleep because that is it. You've invested your money. So the question now is, why is it that people have not started investing? This information is out there. So if you've not started investing and you are on this call today, why have you not started investing? Give me the reason in the chat and let's see if we're able to provide solution on this call. I have 3 reasons that I'll be talking about, but let's see. Most times, the reasons they give on the call always fall within those 3 reasons I am going to be talking about. So if you have not started investing, put your reason in the chat. And if you have a company you want us to take a look at, put it in the chat as well. Now, reason number 1, I get to hear a lot of people say, oh, I've not started investing because I don't have enough, or because I don't make enough. So that is the reason I have not started investing. If you fall into that category of people that say, I don't have enough or I don't make enough, that is why I have not started investing, I have good news for you. I have good news for you. Because you can start investing with as low as $1. You can start investing with as little as $1. Now, the question I have for you is, can you afford $1? If the answer is yes, then you can start investing with that $1. And I want to believe that everyone should be able to afford $1, right? Let's say the growth investment finally grows and my capital increases. Can I withdraw freely? Yes. You can withdraw anytime. Just like I said, for stock market, you can buy now, sell now, buy again, sell again, or buy now, sell at a future date. It is that flexible as long as the market is open. As long as the market is open, then you can buy and sell at any time. Okay, Joy. Now, let's look at it. Why have you not started investing? I said most things people tell me is, I don't have enough or I don't make enough. And I said if you have $1, then you can start investing. Will I be the one to find who to sell to? Wow. I love the questions that are coming in today. Now, the stock market is a market, just like we have the meat markets, the clothes markets, right? You have buyers and you have sellers. There are buyers that are waiting to buy, and there will be sellers that are willing to sell. So once you buy your stock, you bought it from somebody. By the time you want to sell, you don't need to wait. There will be buyer that will want to buy from you as well, because it's a market. It is buy and sell that we do in the stock market. So there will always be a buyer and there will always be a seller. Okay, so you don't need to look for anybody. Once you put it that you want to sell, you'll see somebody that wants to buy from you. Okay. Now, so I said if you have $1, you can start investing. You're welcome. You can start investing, right? Now, how do you now start investing with $1? What stock costs $1? Or except penny stock, and I don't do penny stock. I've said it on this call before that I don't do penny stock. So the thing is, you're going to be buying fractional shares. Fractional shares is what you're going to be buying. So let's say the share you want to buy, or the stock or the ETF you want to buy, is $50. But you can only afford $1. You can put your $1 in your brokerage app and buy a fraction of that share. Buy a fraction of that share. That is how you can start investing with any amount you have. You don't need to wait till you have the thousands, the millions before you start investing. I'm saying any amount you want to you have, you can start investing with it today. So I'm trying to rewrite that mindset. Okay, ma. Abdul, okay, ma. Yes, you can start investing with any amount you have. Now, what do you need to do? Number one is you're going to start. And you're starting with any amount. Number two is you're going to remain consistent in the market. You're going to remain consistent in the market. Thank you for the follow, Abdul. Right now, how do you remain consistent? Hi, Amanda. How do you remain consistent in the market? You're welcome. And if you have questions about investing in the stock market, please put it in the chat. The way you remain consistent in the market is by setting up system. And I'll tell you 2 systems you need to set up today. System number 1, you're going to set up a pre-authorized debit from your bank account to your brokerage account. You're setting up a pre-authorized debit from your bank account to your brokerage account. That is system number 1. System number 2, you will go to your brokerage account and set up a pre-authorized. Oh, thank you for subscribing and liking the live. Thank you so much, Amanda. Right? You're going to, system number 2, you're going to set up an auto debit, not auto debit, auto investment on your brokerage app to say, when you receive money into my brokerage app, once you get this $1, the $10, the $50 million, buy the following stocks and you list the stocks. That is system number 2. Abdul, thanks for the likes. Those are the 2 systems you're going to buy. My day is going on well. How is your day too? Those are the 2 systems you're going to buy. You're going to set up. 1, auto debit from your bank account to your brokerage. Number 2, on your brokerage account, auto investing. On your brokerage, what stocks do you want to use that fund to buy? Once you set up that system, you will remain consistent in the market, because system does not need you. The system will keep working. Will keep working until you go and disable that system. Please, thank you for the follow. So let me see the questions I have. Jagun says, I just got introduced to this stock. I opened Roth IRA and Charles Schwab. I bought Uber and Charles Schwab. Well, that's good. Why did you buy Uber? If I may ask. Let me see Uber. Why did you buy Uber? If I may ask. But it's been read and read and read. I do see whenever I checked. Okay, we're going to look at Uber. What do you think I'm doing wrong? Okay, that's a good question. Like I said, why did you buy Uber? We're going to look at it when we're looking at the charts. Okay? I bought, Charles Schwab ETF is, let me see. SCHB I am new. Okay. SCHB. But Chashwab is not. Chashwab is US broad market. Okay, I will explain it shortly. Okay. Yeah. Now, we've said start with any amount you have. Moving on to reason number 2 why most people say I have not started is I don't want to lose money in the market. If you are in the club of I don't want to lose money in the market, let me see your hand, because for me too, I don't want to lose money in the market. So how do you mitigate or how do you reduce your losses in the market? Number 1 way to reduce your loss is you're going to buy good stocks or good ETF into your portfolio. Good stocks or good ETF into your portfolio, you will reduce your losses in the market. Yes, I don't want to lose money. We don't want to lose money, every one of us. Number 2, you're going to remain patient with the market. So because you're seeing red today does not mean it will be red forever, right? So you're going to be patient with the market. That is how not to lose money in the market. Number 3 is what I'm going to be using this Uber and Chashwab to show you. Number 3 way not to lose money in the market, I'm going to turn my computer. It might be the other way around. It might be the other way around. Let me see. I will expand it, don't worry. Okay, so this is Uber, right? This is Uber. I'm just using Google. When I want to start analysis, I start with Google to even see. Before I go into deep analysis, I start with Google. Now, this is Uber. What is this telling me? Let me do one day. What is this telling me? This chart is telling me that if I bought Uber this morning, when the business opened today, when the doors were open 9:30 a.m., and I decide to sell at close of business by 4 p.m. today, I would have made $2 on each stock. That means today there was an increase of $2. For those that bought this morning and decide to sell this evening, they'll be making a gain of $2. Now, when I say, how do you not take losses in the market? This is what you're going to be looking at. This place that shows you as green. Right now is showing green, right? Because I said they would be making about $2 in the market. Now, have they made this money, this $2? No. They are yet to make this $2. But it is only telling you, if you sell now, you will make $2 gain. If you sell now, you will make $2 gain. Now, let's go to 5 days. 5 days, you can see. It means if I bought Uber 5 days ago, 5 days ago should be last week, Tuesday, and I decide to sell today, I'll be making a loss of $1.17. $1.17. That is what I'll be making. Now, when it's showing this red, have I made this loss? It is no. I have not made the loss. So it means if I'm patient with the market and this company is a good company, this one will turn to green at some point. Then I can sell at that point. And if you look at your app, it is possible that yours is green even though the market has been down. Since last week, the market has been down. So if you bought stock last week, the tendency of it being down up to today is there, because the market has been going down since last week. Now, if you are not patient in the market, you want to sell because you see, oh, it's going down. I don't know what this thing is. Why it's happening this way? Let me sell, right? That is because you're not patient with the market. If you buy good stocks into your portfolio and you are patient in the market, the stock would do what? It will rise. Now, why I asked you, why did you buy Uber? Because when I looked at the 1 month, this is 5 days. This is 1 month. I don't know when you bought it though. This is 1 month. 1 month is red. We can't blame them. So this is red 1 month ago. Let's look at 6 months ago. 6 months, it is red. Let's look at year to date. Year to date is about 4 months. So if it's red 6 months, it will definitely be red year to date. Let's look at 1 year. 1 year, it is red. That's why I asked you, why did you buy Uber? Thank you so much, Bauer. That's why I asked you, why did you buy Uber? My own is, if I check a chart, this one is on my training, but I'm going to give it out today. If I check a chart and the chart is red 6 months, is red 1 year, I am not buying that now. I am not buying. I want that. It's telling me that this company has not really made profit in the last 1 year. It has not really grown in the last 6 months. So why do I want to put my money there? Now that is you buying an individual company. Now let's look at Charles Schwab. Because you told us the two, right? You mentioned the two. Now let's look at Charles Schwab. This is Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab is selling for, is this $25? $25.10. Now look at 1 day. 1 day. That means if you bought today, this morning, if you decide to sell now, you'll be getting 71 cents on a $25 investment. Let's look at 1 month. 1 month, tendency that it might be down is there because, like I said, market has been down since the war between US and Iran. Market has been doing its thing because market has a behavior itself. Let's look at 1 year. Let me look at 1 year. You can see. You can see. Now, this brings me to you buying individual stocks and you buying ETF. This is an ETF. Charles Schwab is an ETF. Am I right? Yeah, it's an ETF. Now, let's assume that Uber, I'm not saying Uber is a bad company, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, let's assume that Uber is in this basket now. Okay, let me use S&P 500 so that I don't mention any company name because I don't know who screen records me and now says I said so. I didn't say so. Let me use S&P 500. S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in the US. For your company to be in that ETF, you must be in number 1 to 503 in the New York Stock Exchange. Now, what happens? So let's say your company in that chart, when they did the review, is done twice a year. The first review during the year, your company was number 498 out of the 500 company. Your company was number 498, right? Now, when they are doing the review half year, by the second time they are doing the review, your company is now number 520 on the stock exchange. What happens? They will take that company out from that S&P 500 basket and bring in another company. So when I say as you're starting, it's good for you to start with an ETF. This is what I'm trying to say. Because if you invest in individual company, your money is stuck there, right? But if you buy an ETF, if that company is not doing well, if it's not meeting the requirements, they take the company out and bring a new company into it. Now, like I said, I've not done technical analysis of Uber. But for me, I don't really sell when I know I will make a loss. I'll be patient with the markets to see when it becomes green, then I can sell at that point. However, if you decide to do your technical analysis, you'll be able to see if this company is it going to be liquidated or something. Then, except if in the case of liquidation, that is only when I decide to sell and take my losses. So for you, you can just hold it for a while. You can do the technical analysis, and if you see that it's something that there's prospect for it, then you can hold it for a while. If not, but I don't really like to sell to take a loss. Yes, so I hope I answered your question, and we now know how not to take losses in the market. Buy good companies into your portfolio, number 1. Number 2, be patient in the market because the market will reward your patience. Number 3, check your indicator. Is it telling you will make a loss, or is it saying you will make a gain? Right? Now, mindset number 3 I want us to rewrite today is, we said the first set of people will say, I don't have enough. I said, start with whatever you have. As little as $1 can start you can start investing with it. And I said, number 2, people will say, I don't want to take losses in the market. And that is what we just explained now. Number 3 set of people say, I don't have the knowledge. I don't know what to look out for. Honestly, I am only buying because somebody suggested it online. Because I bet you that some people this night will still go and buy just because they heard the stock online. Right? I am only buying because somebody said, buy, the market will go up, oh, buy, the market is going to. That is what I am only buying. So the thing is, like I said, I don't do try and error with my money. So if you're not interested in doing try and error, yes, yes, no, because the person that is telling you to buy, everybody has a strategy. I have a strategy for all my stock. I did a lot and lost my money, right? I have a lot of strategies for my stock. If you don't know the strategy, there was somebody that came on this call one day and said, oh, I went to buy one oil company. And I said, why did you buy? He said, I bought it because somebody said because of the war between Iran and this. And I asked the person, did the person tell you when to get out of the market? Did the person tell you when to get out of the market? You don't know the strategy that person is using. So you want to develop your own strategy as well. And how can you develop your strategy? You develop it by knowing what the market is saying. What do I even look out for? What do I look out for in a stock before I can say, oh, this stock is a good stock, let me buy it, or this ETF is a good ETF, let me buy it? What do I want to get from that stock? Does it fit my risk profile? Does it fit my investment goals? Right? Now, if you don't know that knowledge and you want to learn, you can learn online like this. At least I've given us 4 steps for us to start investing today. Right? I've also shown you Google. Like I said, Google is just the basic. That's where I start from. I use Yahoo Finance mostly to do my deep dive. Right? But if you want to get a training that walks you through how to invest, by the rumor said in news. Yes, so if you want a training that walks you through how to invest in the stock market, this training I don't just talk about the stock market. I start from the foundation of, for those that say, well, I don't even have money to use to invest, we start with your budgeting. Let's look for that money in your current income. We go ahead to do your investment goals. We go ahead to look at your risk profile, right? Before we now start talking about the stock market, because these are the foundation you lay. Most people don't lay this foundation. These are the foundation you lay. And you can now start buying your stock. And in the stock, I talk about dividend stock, I talk about individual stock, I talk about ETF, and I talk about real estate investment trust. All these are included in the training. If you're interested, like I said, it is left to you. You can go ahead to start learning this way, but it might take time. If you want to close the gap in the time, then you can get the training. I am going to be dropping the price of the training down now for those that may be interested. If you're interested, please go to the link in my bio, and it will take you to my store. On my store, you're going to see the training that says the diaspora investor. The diaspora investor. Once you get to that training, that is the training you need as a beginner investor. You're going to see what you're going to be getting in the training. Please take a look at it. Like I said, you're going to see testimonials of people that have gone through the training. I was still trying to help somebody today to set up their account, and I mentioned it before. How we're trying to set up an account that was so complicated, and I told him, no, you can't use this account. Even me, that have been in this market for a while, I don't like this account. Okay, so if you're interested in getting it, please go to the link in my bio to get it, Or if you're finding it difficult to get, send me a DM right now on this call and I will send you the link. Okay, so let's move on. Let's go deep. I think it's time for me to block you. I don't like when you come to my problem now is I don't know how to block. Ah, God. I need to learn how to block somebody on this call. Okay, I'll just mute. Okay, I've seen block. No. Entire life. Mute account. Yeah. Okay, now, yes, I want to block you. Okay, so now, do we have questions about investing? Do we have questions about investing? How to invest in the stock market? Because we're going to be moving on to how to generate income. Oh my God, I have about 20 more minutes on this live. Do we have questions about how to invest in the stock market? Now, let's look at, before we look at how to generate income, let's look at REITs. If I looked at REITs today, I will not be able to meet my 20 minutes. So let's look at how to generate income. Now, how do you generate income with the stocks you already have in the portfolio? So you're already an investor in this case, but you want to start generating income. So how do you generate income with the stocks you already have? Now, this part is for those that have already started investing. But if you've not started investing, you can learn, at least you know that there's possibility for you to start generating income. Now, once you already have your stock pot, you have your stocks, you started investing in your stocks, and you want to generate income with the same stock, what you're going to be doing is the same stock you have in your portfolio, if they are qualifying stocks, you're going to be putting them up for sale. Now, your intention is not to sell. Your intention is to generate income with those stocks, right? Your intention is to generate income with those stocks. So how do you generate the income? At this point is where I start with my pen and paper. So the first thing you want to do is you have the stock in your portfolio, right? So we've invested in company A. We've invested in company A. When we bought company A, we bought company A for $10.50. If you're getting the training, please go to the link in my bio. You're going to get the training that says the Diaspora Investor. It's currently discounted and most likely the price might even be going up tomorrow. So now is the best time. Don't procrastinate. Today is the last day in the quarter. And if you want to start your investment journey, today is the time for you to get it. Okay, so we said $10.50 was the amount we used to buy this stock when we bought it into our portfolio. Now we want to generate income with this same stock. Now, we're going to look at what is company A selling for today. Today is March 31st. Company A is selling for $12.50. $12.50 is that's the current price of company A. If I decide to sell my company A today, that means I'll be making a gain of $2 on each stock I own. A gain of $2 on each stock I own. Now, remember I said our intention is not to sell. Our intention is to generate income. So what I'll be doing is I will tell the market that I want to sell my stock April 2nd. I want to sell my stock for $14.50. I want to sell my stock for $14.50. So what broker do you use? I stay in Canada, so I use World Simple. You mean what brokerage, right? The brokerage app I use is World Simple. Okay, so I will say I want to sell my stock for $14.50. That is what I want to sell it for April 2nd. Yes, I use World Simple. Now, when I put up my stock for sale in the market, there will be a buyer on the other end. Remember, I said the stock market is a place for buy and sell. We're only buying and selling stocks. Now, the buyer will tell me, I would buy this stock from you April 2nd, which is in a future date, and I will be buying it for $14.50. For you to know that I am serious, I'll pay you a premium today, an insurance today. So let's say the premium that is meant to be paid is $1. This buyer will pay me $1 today, March 31st. Right? This $1 that this buyer paid me is my income. It is money. It is my cash. I can do whatever I like with it. Now, between March 31st, which is today, and April 2nd, which is the future date, three things can happen in the market. Three things can happen in the market. The first thing that can happen is the price of company A goes above my selling price. If the price of company A goes above my selling price, so let's say company A is now selling for $16.50. $16.50. Remember, I said I want to sell for $14.50. Now, the buyer that paid me that $1 has the right to buy my stock for at $14.50. They have the right because that was our agreed price. But what will they do? It means I get $14.50 for my stock plus the $1 premium I already got. Now, remember, I bought this stock for $10.50. That means I already made a gain, right? Now, second scenario, I told you three things can happen. Second scenario, the price of company A is the market price is below my selling price. So in this case, company A is selling for $14 on April 2nd. Company A is selling for $14 on April 2nd. It means it's below my selling price. Because this is below my selling price, this buyer will not buy from me. 99% of the time, the buyer will not buy. Right? Now, if the buyer does not buy it, that means I keep my stock. Right? And I keep the $1 that the buyer paid me on March 31st. This stock, I am going to repeat the same process either the next month or the next week. And I'll keep using that same stock to generate my income. Now, before we move on to the third thing and the strategy, and I'll introduce you to the training. In these two scenarios, either the price went above my selling price or the price is below my selling price. Did you make a gain or did you make loss? I want answers. At this point is where I demand answers. Did you make a gain or did you make a loss at this point? I'm not saying answers. Did you make a gain or did you make a loss? Let's answer now. Or we don't understand. Nobody is answering me. Is it that we don't understand it, what I just explained? Gain. Thank you. Green. Gain. Green olive. Thank you. So in both situations, we made gain. Now, I told you that three things can happen, right, in the market. So in this case, the third thing and the strategy and my workbook that helps you to calculate your price and everything. And I also give you 30 different stocks you can use for this that are below $30. So let's say that the stocks you currently have are not qualifying stocks. I will give you 30 stocks that are below $30 you can use to start this. It's behind the paid wall. I have a training that walks you through. What do you do? At what point do you take your gain and the likes? How do you calculate your price? How do you remember I said our intention is not to sell. So how do you remain consistent so that you're not selling? Even when your price, when the market price is above your selling price, what do you do at that point? And the strategy is behind the paid wall. And if you're interested in getting that training, it's also in the link in my bio. And the name of the training is Turn Your Portfolio, Turn Your Stocks into Cash Flow Machine. Turn your stock into cash flow machine. So if you have not started investing, the training you'll be getting is the Diaspora Investor. If you have started investing and you want to generate more income with your stocks, then the training you'll be getting is called Turn Your Stocks into Cash Flow Machine. Now, do we have questions about investing generally, about how to turn your stocks into cash flow machine? I said if you're having issues with getting to it, send me a DM right now and I will send the link to you. So let me just put out a disclaimer. I don't invest on anybody's behalf. I will not chat you first. I will not send you a DM first. I don't do trading pool. So if anybody comes to your DM and say, oh, I want to invest on your behalf, it is not me. Okay, what I do is I teach. I don't give you fish. I teach you how to fish. Because if I'm not there tomorrow, you should be able to stand on your foot when you want to buy stocks for yourself. You don't need me to be there to be able to say, oh, this is the stock for you to buy. That is why I teach. And if you've been on this call, the P5, thank you for the likes. If you've been on this call today or on my previous calls, you can see how I teach on the call. This call is free. I'm in Canada. I don't earn from it. Thank you, world, for the follow. Right? It is free. But you can now imagine what's the kind of training I'll pour out. In Green Olive, thank you for the follow as well. In what? In the paid class. Now, the training is a pre-recorded training. Ask your questions, though. I'm only waiting for questions. That's why I'm continuing with my adverts. Now, the training is a pre-recorded training. You take it at your own pace. You can pause, rewind, forward, do whatever you like. Wake up in the midnight and listen to it. In short, somebody got the training yesterday and the person chatted me today. I am done with the training. I'm like, what? What? So you can see that it's not like training that will take you 100 years. The person got it on a call yesterday when we were on this call like this. And the person chatted me today. I am done with the training. Let's open my account. And technically, we started investing for the person today. That was the person I was saying we're trying to create the brokerage account. Yes, I do. No. I don't do day trading. Do you advise day trading? I don't do day trading. I don't advise day trading if, let me use it this way. I don't advise day trading if you don't have time, number one. If your emotion is still swinging, if you're not an investor, it will be difficult for you to day trade. Because day trading is emotion. You will have to stick to your goals when you day trade. You can tell yourself, I am only taking 10% gain on all my trades. It means no matter what, you're sitting on that 10% gain. That is why the market will test you. That is it. So if you're not disciplined, day trading is not for you. You can say that after one loss in the market, I am not trading again that day. The market will test you, because after you take that one loss, you will see this one is going, let me take it. So if you don't have time, you don't really understand the market. I see a lot of people that do day trading. They'll tell me, okay, mirror my trading. The person that is telling you mirror my trading, as at the time they are telling you it's time to sell, they're already clicking their sell. Before it gets to you, is a minute late or a second late, right? And within that second, a lot of things can happen in the market. So if you don't know what you're doing, please don't do day trade. Don't do day trade, because almost 90% of people that do day trade, they lose money. The best thing is invest in the market. As you're growing it, be growing it bit by bit. At some point, with patience, you will outgrow those people that are doing day trading. You will outgrow them. So for me, I don't do day trading, even though I know how to do it, but I don't just have that kind of, my emotion is not that, it swings. And I don't have that kind of discipline to say, okay, I must stay to my God. So that is it. And I don't advise people to do day trading, except you know what you're doing in the market. If you know what you're doing in the market, you will make money. But a lot of people don't know what they are doing in the market. They always like to mirror somebody. You see cohorts, oh, this is a Discord group, we're going to be giving you trades. But by the time the person tell you, before they chat, it's time to sell, they've already sold. And that 1 minute delay or that 1 or 3 second delay can change everything for you. It can change everything for you. So that is it. Yes. So, who is coming in today? Who is coming in today? Yes, so I have a question that says, yes, that was what I was explaining now, that the training is pre-recorded. You take it at your own pace. But when you get the training that says the diaspora investor, I know that you would not. Let me even read what you get with the diaspora investor, because a lot of people don't, most people don't go to click the link. So let me tell you what you get with the diaspora investor. So with the diaspora investor, you're going to get your budgeting templates. You start with that. You get how to do your investment goals, your risk profile, how to get your risk profile so that you know the kind of risk you want to take in the market. Aside from that, you get individual stock, dividends investing. I'll teach you what individual stocks, what dividend investing is. Then I move on to ETF, exchange traded fund. How do you know that, oh, this ETF fits me? How do you diagnose your ETF and dismantle everything? Then I also teach you real estate investment trust. For those of you that want real estate, that want rental income, but don't have a physical property yet, link, green olive. Can you send me a DM while on this, right on this call? Or you go to the link in my bio, right? For those of you that want, send me a DM right now and I'll send you the link. Okay? For those of you that want real estate income, you want to have physical property, you want to put a tenant in it, or driving. Because there's no way. Okay, so the thing is, I will leave the discount on for another 30 minutes to 1 hour, so that when you get to where you can park, you can get it through my bio, or you just send me a DM and I'll send it to you, because there's no way I want to give you the link here. So it's either you go to the link in my bio, you send me a DM, then I can send it to you. So I said, for those of you that are looking to get rental income, you want to have a physical property, but you don't have the down payment yet, you don't even have the closing cost, you don't have a good credit score, you can earn rental income through the stock market by investing in real estate investment trust. By investing in real estate, yes, please do. By investing in real estate investment trust, right? So I also talk about real estate investment trust. I've seen a lot of coaches, a lot of people that teach investing. They teach ETF separate, they teach REIT separate, and they charge you 2 different money. But I'm only saying, I'm going to give you one. Everything is included in the course. And like I said, tendency of the price increasing from second quarter is high. And second quarter starts tomorrow. Tomorrow is April 1st. So I give you that. I teach you REIT and everything. And REIT will pay you good dividends. They will pay you good dividends. I don't only stop there. I will give you 8 high-performing ETF. 8 high-performing ETF that has done cumulatively in the last 3 years, they've done about 40% return. Then I move further to give you 9 ETF that comprises the total market. Total market, aside from the other stocks I give to you, right? Aside from the other stocks, I give you different rates, I give you individual stocks, I give you different ETFs. But I'm going to also give you this. They are included in the training. Then also, because I know that you're just starting your journey, you will need to ask questions. I don't just say go and watch the training and bye-bye. You have access to my WhatsApp community where you can ask your questions. I told you today I was trying to open a brokerage account with somebody. We're technically on a call. My one-on-one discounted is $250. But because they bought this training, I didn't have a choice. I had them create the account. Okay, click this place. Don't click this place. This is what you do, right? So now is the time for you to get the training. If you know that investing is one thing that interests you this year, is one of the goals you have for 2026, now is the time to get the training. And the training is currently discounted. And you're going to see testimonials of people that have gone through the training. These are not all the testimonials. But if I put testimonials here, the page will be too long. The page will be too long. So you can just go to the link in my bio and get it. The training is called The Diaspora Investor. Now, do we have questions? Do we have questions? Okay. Let me see. I think someone just joined. So if you're the one that just joined, take your clap first. If you're the one that just joined, I love to welcome you into the community. I tell you, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot. I don't mind if you can put it in the chat that, oh, I just joined, it's me, I'm not a ghost. If you can put it in the chat that I just joined, because most people, at times, they like to see the first person that will take the first leap. I don't know why, but most people like to see the first person that will take the first leap, right? And the cute Sammy, thank you for the likes. You're welcome, Insa. Now, once you get this training, please join the WhatsApp community. It's in the last module of the training. That is where you have access to my number. You can send me, I want to buy this stock. For somebody that asks me about what stock is best for me to buy, you can chat me. I want to buy this stock. What do you think? I tell you, it is my joy to analyze it for you. It is my joy, pleasure to analyze the stock and tell you, oh, I'm not sure it's good right now, or wow, green mark, go ahead. But you don't have access to all this on this live call. You don't have access to all this on this live call. All these ones we checked on Google, just checking, that is just the basic analysis. There's deeper dive. What do you look out for? A company might be red, but when you go deep dive, you see that, oh, the company has prospects and you want to get it. Okay? Now, do we have questions? Do we have questions? I have about 10 more minutes before I run. Now, Lord, thank you for the likes. So for all those that are yet that have not taken the training, why have you not taken it? Or what do you have? What's holding you back? If you can tell me, maybe I'm able to provide solution. Because that's why I'm here. I'm glad to provide solution. If you want to tell me this is the reason, okay. Oh, someone just joined again. You're welcome in. You're welcome in. You're welcome joining the community. I tell you, this is the beginning of you starting to invest. After this training, you go from novice to confident. Like, You want to invest confidently. And let me tell you something about investing. Once you start investing, right, and you get your very first dividend, or you see your money grow in the market, do you know what you would do? You want to put more money in the market. Oh, I put my $100 now, and I can see that my $100 already became, if I sell now, I'll make a $5 gain on it. That is without you doing anything. All you did was to start, and you remained consistent. You didn't have to go to the company to say, oh, did you people work today, or did you people not work today? You're seeing your money grow in the market, or you're getting your dividends paid to you. Today, I got dividends. I don't need to know if the company opened in the last 30 days. Every 31st or last day of the month, I get my dividends. What did I do? I decided to invest, and I remained consistent in the market. And my money is working for me. I just got the alert today. I didn't even know that they were paying dividends today, to be serious. I wasn't expecting any dividend today. I just saw the alert. I'm like, what is this? Dividend paid by this ETF. So what does that tell you? It tells you that your money has the ability to work for you while you are asleep. It's working. While you're on vacation, your money is working. Yeah, it's time to go. While you're doing something else, you're moving around, your money is working for you. But will you give the opportunity to that money to work for you? That is a simple question. Because if you want your money to live a very soft life, your money will live it. I tell you. Your money will live a very soft life if you want your money to live a soft life. And if you want your money to work extra hard, the money has the ability to work extra hard. Right? So, if you're still getting the training, like I said, prices might be going up after this quarter. This quarter ends today. The value is so packed on that training. A lot of people that have gone through it are telling me the value is so packed. So the price might be going up, and now is the time for you to grab it at a cheaper price. Now, do we have questions before I run? I have just 2 minutes or 3 minutes before I run. Do we have questions about investing, about how to get the training, about just ask your question before I run. For those that have gotten the training, please make sure you join the WhatsApp community, please, so that you can ask your question. Don't say I left you. I didn't leave you. And for those, like Green said, I should leave it on for about 32. He's driving right now, so I'm going to leave the discount on for maybe another 1 hour. I will DM you for coaching. Okay, no problem. I will be expecting your DM worked, right? Yes. So I will leave the discount on for another maybe 1 hour or thereabouts for those people that want to get it. Maybe after this call, you thought about it and you say, "Wow, why not?" The charges is less than a 5-star restaurant. Less than a 5-star restaurant. The charge for the training. Okay, so thank you so much for joining today. I want to appreciate everyone for watching to this end. I hope you gained something. That is the most important thing. My joy is whenever I come on calls like this, somebody is able to gain something. At least you're taking your investing journey to the next step. That is my most important joy. And I hope you gain something from today's call. If you have not followed me, please do also follow me so that you know when next I'm going to be on live, so that you can ask your question, or by then maybe you've made up your mind to take the training. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the follow, thank you for the comments and the questions. You're the one that makes the life active. Today we did 7.5k likes, which is great. So let me give you a clap. Right? So thank you so much for joining. I will see you again tomorrow. I normally come on live between 5:30 and 6 p.m. Central. At least for now, just once a day. For now, between 5:30 and 6 p.m. Central. But if you follow me, definitely you know when I'm going to be live again. And like I said, I always close with this. If investing is one of your goals for 2026, now is the time for you to start. First quarter ends today. we're starting another quarter tomorrow, basically, which means before you know it, December is already here. And who best to teach you, if not me, that I've given you all those free knowledge today? I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you and I appreciate your time. God bless you.